Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch the Mob Psycho 100. Last time was our season finale, where Mob and Reagan go out into the forest to hunt a giant slug, and then eventually come back, with a whole bunch of mushrooms instead. So, I mean, it was kind of a weird way to wrap up the season, but, I think it, concluded the action really well, don't you think, for, the meta plot?
Is that what you remember happening in the last episode?
Why? Did something else important happen?
You tell me. It's important for you to remember.
Alright, shall I go ahead and give the whole spiel? Let's go to the episode list here and read it off, huh? Reagan is miraculously uninjured from Sakurai's attack and proceeds to take on the Scars, where their psychic attacks have no effect against him. It's revealed that Reagan's words of wisdom to Mob just as he was about to go 100 changed the flow of his psychic energy. Mob subconsciously sent its psychic energy into Reagan, thereby running away, with the psychic energy and Reagan going to 1000 with gratitude. Once he anticipates Ishiguro, Reagan chastises the Scars for their delusions of grandeur, saying that with psychic powers they are still human. Reagan's words drag Sakurai and Muraki back into reality. A recovered Ishiguro, however, rejects Reagan's philosophical views by claiming that psychics are the elite and superior to the rest of humanity, and should be worshipped. Mob counters Ishiguro by saying that having psychic powers doesn't make one popular. Ishiguro snaps and starts gathering psychic energy to destroy the 7th Division and everyone in it. Reagan loses Mob's psychic energy before he can defeat him, and Sho suddenly appears to knock out Ishiguro. Sho expresses disappointment in Mob, revealing that he was sent by his father, the leader of Claw, to oversee the 7th Division's development before leaving. Dimple finally escapes Matsu's evil spirit jar and knocks him out. The fight ends with Mob, Reagan, Ritsu, Teru, and Dimple move on with their everyday lives. And then sometime later, Mob and Duncan try to hunt down the mythical Tsuchikono, but Reagan ends up instead gathering lots of mushrooms. Mob exercises a spirit that could have probably been the Tsuchikono, but Reagan says they don't exist.
I just want to check in. Do these areas that you're reading from have a synopsis and a plot? Because it sounds to me like you're reading the plot and not a synopsis.
This is the episode list that I found on Wikipedia, the free online encyclopedia that anyone can edit.
Okay, just checking. Because that really does. That seems like more than what a Mob Psycho 100 synopsis would have.
I blame fans who don't know how to summarize.
Well, no, because
So I'm starting to fight now. I know who you are.
Because a plot section would have all of that, but a synopsis wouldn't.
Right, yeah, there's no, one sentence blurb here to tell us about what happened in the episode. But, hey, we got a good description and most of the details. But we do have other things, like, the mystery gang being trained to become actual psychics eventually for their own protection. The fact that Claw is almost certainly coming back as a plot point. And I think some of the 7th Division is probably still alive, maybe. But it's unconfirmed. We talked about that last time. So, we've watched the first season together, and you've seen the second season. So I guess, looking ahead, what kind of words of wisdom, what kind of vibe do you have going into this? Because last time, you were giving me the vibe of, well, it doesn't start out normal, but it picks up about halfway or something, right? How would you describe this season then, without spoiling it?
Were you paying much attention to the story elements of the back half of season 1?
Yeah, that's basically all the Claw stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, so we are in fact getting more Claw.
That's not what I said. I asked you a question.
Oh. Can't say you said anything if you only phrase it as a question.
No, I asked you a question. Yeah, no, I asked you a question. I can't say that you answered me.
I did. I said the Claw stuff, right?
No, I asked you a question. You're like, oh, so we're getting more Claw stuff. You asked me a question in response to my question. You didn't answer me.
Alright, how about this? Yes.
Okay, so who was the person that visited Claw headquarters? Sorry, Claw
Wait,
7th
what?
Division headquarters.
When? Reagan visited,
Okay,
Ishiguro
the
visited,
one that wasn't one of our main
Preshow visited.
characters.
Show, I believe. So we're getting more of him.
So were you paying attention to any of the stuff that he said?
A little bit. His kind of reveal happened at the very end there and kind of went by quickly, where he's just like, yeah, no, we've been in charge, and I think we were thinking about getting rid of them anyway, or something. No, he was searching for anything valuable and said, well, there's nothing valuable in the 7th Division, but he found something valuable outside of it. Which I assume means mob. Because of course it has to.
There was
So,
more. There was more, but I guess if you don't remember it offhand, we'll just have to go into it without that being known.
alright, fair enough. I'm expecting Shu to show up at school and start working out.
Yeah, there is more slice of life stuff. That should be going without saying.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like the best place to start off the season, so let's go ahead and get some slice
Well,
of life.
before we get into that, it should be said
Mm-hmm.
we didn't discuss this ahead of time, so you don't even know. There's an OVA that we're not watching, but I suppose if there's enough support for it in the comments, we could. There's an OVA called Mob Psycho 100. Reagan, the miraculous unknown psychic. And the reason why we're not watching it is it's one part funny, one part not. It's a recap of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a recap from the perspective of Regan as the main character.
Where he's just like, oh yeah, no, I see like that middle school over there is lifting off into the sky, and I'm not worried.
Well, its description is it's a recap of the first season from the beginning of the series to the 7th Division arc,
Mhm.
but instead told mainly from the perspective of Reagan, with edits and details added to the story that make him the main protagonist.
Mm-hmm. I imagine it's happening basically entirely in his own head then, because of course it would. Of course he's the main protagonist in his own vision.
Well, I mean, it does the. It was the announcement for Mob Psycho second season, but it also does a thing where, like the first couple of Made in Abyss movies were the recap for the series.
Mm-hmm.
It does that, but it makes it a different story. So, even if you had seen Made in Abyss season 1 before, there's new stuff because it's stuff that did not happen.
Alright, gotta fill in the details.
No, literally not what I said. See, your filler to what I say tends to not have anything to do with what I said.
I clearly interpret why things exist differently. But on that note, let's see why mob exists.
Well, actually, just one more thing.
Just one more thing, detective. I don't believe it.
Well, then you haven't watched enough Naruto.
I know, that blue guy's pretty creepy. So all of these are characters we're gonna meet, right?
Some of them, yeah. I would actually say all of them, probably.
あれは間違いない。この世のもんじゃなかった。もともとこの土地は何かの誘惑付きで格安で買ったんです。そういうのは気にしない性分だったので。
You know, building your farm on top of a toxic waste dump, really terrible idea.
It's not a popular opinion. Indian burial ground actually makes really good fertilizer for your garden. But I am white.
暇つぶしに始めた畑ですが3年も立て続けにこんな具合だとさすがに気味が悪くて 今度の収穫時期もそろそろですし、そこであなたに電話したんです。ここは霊能力のある方に解決を委ねてみようと。
正しい判断です。
しかしちょっとですね。
But did you buy the Blu-rays?
うちのバカ息子がここでして、その報酬が
払えそうにないと。
額にもよりますけど。
こちらも商売ですからね。それなりの対価をいただかないことには。
はい。
そうですね。この畑に救う何かを退治できたら、次の収穫物の 30% をいただく。
And thus he begins feudalism all over again.
It's interesting, though. The weird way that different cultures do the counting on their fingers. Like Reagan does this. You might remember in Inglourious Bastards, the German 3 is this.
Yeah, huh, that's kind of a funny detail I didn't think about before.
今何か動いたか。
確かに弱いけど霊気がありますね。
昼の会話も聞こえていたぞ。わしを定義するだと。
It's the Scarecrow Devil.
早いとこ終わらせちまおう。
I'm glad this is happening now. Because for some reason I remember it happening much later in the season.
終わりか。
はい、かかしに入ってただけで害はそんなになかったんじゃないかな。
なんだこりゃ。
お、例の本体ですね。
かかしはおとりだったのか。
Oh no, the Tomato Devil is back.
Oh, he's dead.
だったら権利書を見せろ。収穫まで育てるのにどれだけの手間がかかると思ってんだ。ひねくれた嫌がらせだな。
Alright, he can actually see spirits now.
お前らに栄養は必要ないだろう。
畑で育った野菜の精気を吸い取ることはできる。ちゃんとわしの糧になっとるわ。
野菜泥棒め。モブ、吹っ飛ばせ。
はい。
やるな小僧。じゃがもう一人の方は凡人と見た。
And he's dead again.
I guess the farmer wouldn't hear that, so... Illusion not broken.
お主が破壊しているものはわしが操っている植物のほんの一部に過ぎん。だがそれ以上やってみろ。今すぐこの男をくびり殺してバラバラにしてやる。
That's a horror movie image right there.
Oh, yeah.
やはりわっぱ甘い。どうせ死ぬというのに。
Yep, spirits don't mess around in this world.
ダメージがないってことは
The thing that's confusing me now, that I think about it,
生き物を
is that most of the vegetables that were shown were root vegetables,
考えたこともなかっ
so
た。
there wouldn't be this many vines or roots in
で
place,
きる。悪
because the
霊
vegetables themselves are the root. You know, like potatoes, carrots, that sort of thing.
I'll just do there.
植物が動きを止めた。
植物に命令してみたんです。悪霊よりも強い電波を送り込んでみたら操ることができました。
それが正解だ。よく気づいたな。
It is an Indian burial ground.
Nope, that's, back now. Lord of Plants. Stop hitting yourself.
何ですかそれ。
家庭菜園を始めてみる。うまくいけば食品の設
Well, good transition there, that's for sure.
報酬の収穫野菜は木っ端みじんになってしまったが、代わりに土や肥料や野菜の種をもらい受けた。お前にもほら、前回のバイト代だ。ブロッコリーの種。
ついに現物支給に。ありがとうございます。
ああ、そう
You
だ。
remember
Perfect
any,
payment.
you remember anything from season 1 opening?
Perhaps, perhaps. I'm sure it will definitely not come up again, not even once. Nope, not at all.
おお、すげえ。これは新たなビジネスの予感。どれどれ。味。このミニトマト持って帰っていいぞ。
Alright, new
Well.
opening.
Oh, we got 3D.
Always reminded me of a Daft Punk music video. That moment there.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too. Got the whole crew posing there.
Just falling forwards.
There's a few more characters that can keep up with there.
Best characters of the show.
I like the new one here too. This is a good opening.
It's very much still in the style of.
So we're definitely gonna get mob merchandise in this season, right?
There's obviously already merchandise out there.
第12回を始めたいと思います。本日の議題につきましては、我々サイコヘルメット教の総本山についてです。はい。
I will say, where I've seen Season 1 of Mob multiple times, I only watched Mob Season 2 once, so possible I will see things that I've missed before.
どれも偽物でした。かっこ笑いの集会所にて一番近くで彼を見ていた私が確認しているので間違いありません。ですが、そう遠くないうちに必ず教祖様を連れてきますよ。
Did she take over?
最初から正体は知り合いなんだ。
Well, remember, she's the reporter,
こ
the
の
school
信者たちを
reporter.
もっと盛り上がらせて、先にモブ君をカルトスターにしておくのよ。
Ah, okay. Now I understand the motivation.
今のままじゃ人の上に立つなんて絶対無理。彼にはもっと成長してもらわないと。何かないかしら。モブ君が
Character invested for their own personal sake to make Mob have character development.
本日をもって生徒会長を辞任いたします。なんだと。私の独断ででっち上げの噂を流し、一部生徒
And
に
resolution from that Season 1 story arc.
Yeah, actually following through. There you go.
次期生徒会長選を開催します。
あったわ、これよこれ。モブ君の成長イベント。
Mob does not care whatsoever.
出馬する動機が何もない。どうしたら。
次の会長どうなるんだろうね。
ねえ。でもとりあえずまとも。
Quite literally a scene that we saw on the last episode of last season.
Yup. And the exact same resolution.
やっぱり高根さんのこと好きなんだ。
なんで知って。
なんだそのリアクション。しかしモブ君、あんな学校のアイドルに惚れるなんて意外と俗っぽいところがあるね。正直どこがいいのか全然共感できないけど。
つぼみちゃんは幼馴染だよ。学校のアイドルだったのか。そっか。
幼馴染がどうしてここまで差がついたのか。
One of you end up being cool and popular, the other one not.
I don't know how you can be infatuated with a person and not understand where they stand in the school's social standing. I realize I said the word stand 3 or 4 times there.
I think they put it best. Mob is being very superficial here.
あの学校のアイドルと距離を縮められるかもしれないわよ。出馬するなら協力してあげてもいいよ。ただし貸しにしとくけどね。 男をあげるまたとないチャンスだよ、モブ君。
その日からモブの猛特訓が始まった。
Ah, yes, fighting a bear barehanded.
そして1週間後。
それではこれより
Or to Hajime no Ippo.
挑戦を始めたいと思います。候補者は全部で4名です。まず1人目、2年2組。
These will all become main characters.
こうして候補者による演説が開始された。
You can tell by the fact how they give them voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
あれ、なんでまた。
自分で辞めたのね。
Didn't he resign? Nah, I'm alright. He's gonna run anyway.
I mean, it's a good, it's a good move to make. I resign, so we're gonna have a new election, but you could vote me back.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, don't you love that heartfelt speech? I really felt moved by that one. It's really sincere.
It was all in the gesticulation. You can tell when I do this, and then when I do this, that it's from the heart. Best characters.
Yeah, content with rolling for the shadows.
It might just be trope, but I think my actual favorite character is the former gang leader.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's very much the Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. The bad guy turned good. Hajime Ippo has the same character type too.
Mob, you got it. You good there? And he died on stage.
1人5分間の与えられたスピーチの時間、一言も発さずに終わるのは前代未聞のことであった。
Completely froze.
これじゃあまだ教祖にはなれないわね。もっと立派になってくれないと。
余計なことしなきゃよかった。
影山、今回のは答えてるな。全然動かん。
How does it feel to be the most unpopular person at school, Mob? By empirical vote.
このパターンは
苦手なのに勇気を出して壇上に立つ姿を見て、影山くんのこと
Can't be the most unpopular. Actually getting love notes.
私と付き合ってください。
Does it mean it the way you think it means?
I think it very much means the way I'm thinking.
影山くん。
I thought they still haven't changed the sign.
僕部活が
行ってこい影山。今日は自主トレだ。
すいません、武蔵部長。
は？モブくんに彼女ができただ？
And of course they're still here. Yeah.
Still just hanging out on the table.
羨ましいっす。
影山くん、普段は何してるの？
肉体改造部で走ったりしてるよ。あとは知り合いの仕事手伝ったり。
どんな？
幽霊。本屋さんみたいな感じ。
Honestly, also not untrue.
アルバイトしてるの？すごい。
いや別にすごくはないよ。ほんと簡単な手伝いだけだから。
すごいよ。私も本屋で働きたいな。
いきなり嘘をついてしまった。
You know, I used to think that a lot
奴
too.
隷バイトなんて気味悪がられる気がする。
And then I never worked at a bookstore.
大丈夫？
エミさんは本が好きなの？
本好き。影山くんなら言ってもいいかな。私ね、小説とか書いてるの。
すごいね。
何がすごいの？興味なかった？ごめんね。
いや、本当にすごいと思ったんだけど、他に感想が思いつかなくて。
I feel definitely the focus of those sentences was definitely not translated perfectly.
No, they were.
れから毎日モブはエミと一緒
The
に
awkwardness you just saw was intentional.
今日も早いな。最近部活やめちまったのか？
今から学校戻るよ。
は？
He walked home and then leaves.
モブ、なんか今日表情明るくねえか？女霊もノリノリだし。
そうですか。わかりませんけど。
彼女でもできたか？なんてな。
除霊終わったんで先帰りますね。それじゃあ。
Right into the wall.
おかわり。
あら珍しい。シゲがおかわりなんて。
どうしたシゲよ。超能力でも使いすぎたか？
いや、そんなんじゃないよ。
兄さん、この前の選挙で落ち込んでると思ったけど、なんか元気そうでよかった。
There you go. Bob did mess things up immediately.
どうかな？
面白いような気がする。いろんな言葉知ってるんだね。
Bob, you dummy. You can't read.
あ、ごめん。違うんだ。適当に読んだわけじゃなくて。
ねえ、影山くん。私が影山くんに告白してから今日で1週間なんだけど、どうして断ったのに一緒に帰ってくれるの？私のことかわいそうだと思ったから？
いや、そういうあれじゃなくって。
帰った後で部活に戻ってるのも知ってたよ。私に気を使ってばっかり。同情かな。なんか惨めな気持ち。
ごめん。そんなつもりじゃないよ。
謝ってばっかり。影山くんの気持ち全然わかんないよ。それか。
Ah, we're back to the classic Bob conundrum there.
I mean, I don't understand how you feel. I feel apologetic.
100% apology.
誰かに言われてやったことなんじゃないの？実は私もそういうとこあるんだ。
Here we go.
告白したのも本当は罰ゲームなんだ。無言スピーチを見て面白がって友達とじゃんけんして負けたの。振られたら逆に私がすっごい笑い物にされるから怖かったけど、一緒に帰ってくれたから振られたのバレなかった。ありがとう。もうそろそろ時間が経ったから言わなきゃと思って。1週間も騙しててごめんね。
You uninteresting to even get a date on a dare.
Did you not listen?
I know.
He turned her down on the first day. They've never actually been dating.
I would call this entire week dating.
No, Bob said I'm not going to go out with you. He's just been, I don't know, just being a friend, I guess.
何小説とかマジウケんだけどこいつさ。読ましてみ。うわ、超書いてるじゃん。何これ。
ちょっと勝手に広げないでよ。マジ恥ずかしいから。
エミ、これ本気で書いてんの？
違う。ちょっと暇だったから。
どんだけ暇なんだよ。いつもこんなん書いてるの。
Hey, cool. So we got the Mean Girls squad.
やめてよ。ゴミが散らかるでしょ。もういいよ。どうせならちゃんと細かくしてよね。
Be sure to destroy my dreams entirely.
なよ。
誰？
影山くん。
あ、こいつあれじゃん。スピーチで地蔵みたいになってたやつ。
喋れたんだ。
なんなんだよてめえはよ。罰ゲームでエミに告られたのまだマジに取ってんの？ウケる。お前の彼女じゃねえから。
頑張って書いた小説を破くなんてひどいよ。
あ？暇つぶしって言ってたじゃんね。
まあね。
なんなんだよ勘違う男。てめえどっか行けよ。聞こえねえの？行けって。
僕はこれがゴミだなんて思わない。捨てるくらいなら僕がもらう。自分の気持ちは大事にすることにしたから。大事な
Bob character growth moment.
拾うんだ。
何言ってんのこいつ。なんか怖。
エミいいから先帰ってて。
The okay.
I was saying, now we look like our insides or whatever the thing you do there is.
Right. Up and now it's all gone again.
何やってんだろう。追いかける？
Be a real shame if we didn't have like a psychic or something.
ありがとうね。もういいよ。また書けばいいからさ。
Or can he? And this is the moment where it's like, oh, you have psychic powers. Yeah, no, that's lame. See ya.
So you've
Wonderful,
seen this
touching
show
moment.
before.
And... Yeah, I've seen the show before. It's gonna get undercut. It has to be.
僕、超能力者なんだ。
Wait, no, this is happy, upbeat music.
影山くん。やるじゃん。
Hey,
now-
Mob actually got
Now the title
friends.
makes sense, huh?
そんな面白そうな
Yeah.
ことあったなら呼べよ。自分から他人に力のお披露目するなんて珍しいじゃねえかよ。で、その後どうなんだよ。
何が？
そのエミちゃんとやら、お前の力を見て態度変わったとか、本当に好きになっちゃったとかよ。
超能力程度でそんなのあるわけないよ。
マジか？
Hey, Mob understood the lesson he learned.
超能力か。すごいな、影山くん。あ、中学生の超能力者。
She's gonna write a new novel.
お前、またラブレターに騙されたのかよ。
Second time now, huh?
Yeah, this is gonna be a trend, isn't it?
これからは常に一緒にいてやっからな。
それは気持ち悪い。
俺様には優しくないんだよ。知ってんだ。
Oh, they're gone.
人面犬、ダッシュババア、赤いレインコート、そしてお日さんと盛りだくさんだ。あとは任せたぞモブ。次回モブサイコ102第2話、都市伝説。
Oh, we're back with the dimples.
盛り当たりが正しい判断です。
What was my thought? I completely forgot. Alright, keep that. Alright. Well, that was still a very cute episode. I think this is like this feels like a season ender to me, right? Mob goes through all the lessons he learned. He demonstrates that, like, I don't need psychic powers to be popular. He's still exactly the same person he is, but he knows more. And he uses his powers to help others in a very nice and emotional way. This was very cute. I liked this.
Well, I think it's to show for the season to come that Mob has developed as a character. And now we're going to see what comes of that in addition to new story plot. So, you know, like last season ended with the resolution of that story. But now we're seeing that Mob doesn't escape that story without changing.
Right. It took a whole season, but he finally made one new friend.
I mean, you made, what, 5, 6, arguably 7, 8.
Well,
9,
he knew his brother. He
9
already knew
friends.
Reagan.
Well,
Dimple is not his friend.
I'm not to say arguably. I would say his brother hated him. Remember, jealous hatred. So he made a friend out of his brother. That's why I said the arguable one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Body Improvement Club. He made friends out of all of them.
That's true.
I believe
I'll
there's
give you
5
that.
of them, so give or take there. The psychic he fought became his friend.
Yep.
Um,
Actually, is he a friend or is he just an ally? Because he only came around when claws started popping up, and he's like, "Hey, we should probably do something about this."
Before that, remember, he was also showing up on the street, indicating that his life had changed. He's made self-actualizing realizations. He's a friend.
Yeah. And I think a lot of other characters are definitely in that like associate or acquaintance zone where they know of him, they probably have reasonably positive ideas about him. They're not just making fun of him all the time. But Mom doesn't recognize them because he's
Well,
Mom.
see, I would argue that then. Because head of Telepathy Club, I would list as a friend.
Actually, yeah, they did go out and just hang out on the bench for a while, and Mom actually indulged them. So that
I would
makes sense.
also argue that school reporter is also a friend.
Yeah, it's all these little relationships that need more time in the oven before they like fully rise, right? Like they exist there, but we haven't had our telepathy club moment of expression of friendship.
I would say the only standout as not on that list would be the former school bully.
That's true. Have they actually interacted?
Yeah, episode 2, 3.
Yeah.
Remember, he's the one that put the letter in the locker, lured Mob out, then tied him up.
Yeah. Okay, so
there's been no interaction.
Since then he's been keeping his distance specifically because he still thinks he's the underground leader of everything.
No. They've had no interaction after that. He's not even... Because remember, he got kicked out of... Mob's brother and the guy who just had the election thing about framed him. So he's not been interacting with anybody, and his former gang members have distanced themselves from him. So
right, he's only just now getting back into it.
No, because he's not been back into anything.
He's at the school. He was there for the thing.
Yeah, he's not been back into anything though. He's been interacting with the Body Improvement Club. He hasn't been interacting with anybody else. And the point
I guess that's a good reason for Mom to interact.
The point I keep trying to make is that his former gang members have also all distanced themselves from him. So he was never interacting with the white tea something thing.
Yeah.
So he's never known Mob as a gang leader or suspected him because he was not a gang leader himself during that arc.
Right. Okay.
White tea poison. That was what it was.
Yeah. Mob has a nice circle of friends. Sorry. And now he has one more. There we go. And I guess the question is, so how is this character going to die? How is Mom's new girlfriend going to die suddenly to urge him into new psychic powers?
What girlfriend?
You read the room, Theta.
You've completely misread it the whole time. He turned her down. They were never dating.
They're totally dating.
She said, even on the first day, you turned me down. It just so happened that she didn't say anything else after that, because he kept walking her home, which was enough to fool her friends.
I think still, well, depending on whether or not she comes back again as a continual point, if she does, almost certainly terrible things are going to happen to her to escalate Mom's tension here. That's my prediction. This seems like setting up stuff for further down the line to me. So yeah, that's my feel about it. Anything you want to say about the episode? In particular? Having just rewatched it?
I mean, not really. I remembered it happening later in the season, but it's a good episode. I liked it.
Yeah.
I did not care about the farmer subplot.
Yeah, that was kind of just like the B plot of the episode in the end, wasn't it?
So I'm glad it happened now instead of later. Well, I mean, I don't care about it. Sorry, there's more that I could say, but I realized that would be giving the game away.
In that case, we'll just have to save our spoilers for next time.
I will say that it's not an unimportant thing. It is 99% not important. 1% important.
We'll get back to that 1% later then, when the giant broccoli appears out of nowhere. For right now, though, that's going to be Stone-Faced Reactions for today, everyone. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?